We all know that Albert Einstein was the greatest genius in history. So much of a genius that he alone could outthink thousands of scientists. The things that we humans can't even think of understanding, Einstein not only thought about them, but also understood them and made them easy for the whole world. Albert Einstein was a physicist who, by formulating the theory of relativity, E equals mc squared, and the laws of the photoelectric effect, left the entire world astonished and perplexed. And it was because of this that he was also awarded the Nobel Prize. Seeing his extraordinary ability to think and understand, people believed that Einstein had a special brain. Joe was quite different from ordinary humans. Einstein himself was aware of this fact. That's why he didn't want any part of his body to be researched after his death. In fact, he had given instructions that after his death, his body should be cremated. But then what Einstein feared happened. On April 18, 1955, when Einstein passed away at Princeton Hospital, the doctor who came for the autopsy to determine the cause of death secretly removed Einstein's brain because he was curious to know what exactly is in the brain of the world's greatest genius. Welcome once again to ZimTV's videos. Viewers, the doctor who stole Einstein's brain was Thomas Harvey, who was more interested in studying this special brain than in the consequences he would face. A few days later, when Princeton Hospital found out about Dr. Harvey's actions, he had to lose his job. But Dr. Harvey somehow managed to get permission from Einstein's son, Hans Albert, that they want to uncover the secrets hidden inside his father's special brain and bring them to the world. From that day began the longest journey of this brain. Dr. Harvey was a pathologist who only knew how to perform postmortems. It was just his thought that he would be able to research on the brain of such a great genius. Now, the condition was such that Dr. Harvey had also lost his job at Princeton Hospital and his position as a pathologist. Einstein's brain, which had already been preserved by Dr. Harvey, he took it to the city of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, where he took many photos of the brain, and then it was 240 cut into small pieces, preserved each piece in separate jars, and hid them in the basement. Regarding this issue, Dr. Harvey often had arguments with his wife because his wife often threatened that she would take the brain and throw it away somewhere. One day, the argument escalated so much that both husband and wife had to get a divorce and separate. Dr. Harvey took the brain and moved to Wichita, Kansas, where he started working as a medical supervisor in a biological testing lab. In his spare time there, he tried to study Einstein's brain extensively. After that, many times leaving different jobs, they wandered through different cities with this brain. Several years had passed, but Dr. Harvey couldn't conduct any significant research on Einstein's brain. On the contrary, his medical license was canceled, and it came to the point that he had to start a job in a plastic factory. It was then that he made a good decision for the first time, that they would send different parts of his brain to the best neuropathologists around the world for detailed research. So they did just that. In 1955, 30 years after the brain was stolen, that is, in 1985, the first study on Einstein's brain was published. For the next 28 years, neuropathologists from around the world published numerous studies on this genius brain, which revealed that Einstein's brain was quite different from that of an average human. The most significant difference was found in a part of the brain called the corpus callosum. Now, it is important to understand here, the human brain is divided into two separate parts. Whatever a human does is first processed in one part of the brain, and then the brain sends signals to that part of our body. The left brain controls the right parts of our body, while the right brain controls the left parts of our body. Additionally, 90% of humans' left brain works during speaking, understanding, mathematical calculations, and writing, while the right brain is responsible for creativity, recognizing shapes, art, and musical skills. Now, you might also be thinking, What role does the corpus callosum play in all this? Suppose you are typing on a keyboard or on a mobile phone. During this time, both our hands are busy typing. Some alphabets are being typed by our right hand, while some by the left hand. During typing, some alphabets are typed by your left hand. A mistake happened, so you immediately used your right hand to erase that mistake. So this means that when a mistake happened from our right brain, it immediately signaled the left brain to correct that mistake. The two parts of the brain communicate with each other through something. It is called the corpus callosum, and Einstein's corpus callosum was significantly larger compared to that of an average person. This means that his left and right brain had a very strong connection. Because of this, Einstein could imagine quite complex problems and situations simultaneously. Besides having a larger corpus callosum, Einstein's brain pattern was also quite different from that of an average person, and researchers believe that because of this, the flow of neurons in his brain was significantly better. Good neuron flow means that his mathematical calculation power was quite strong. Albert Einstein could solve complex mathematical problems without pen and paper. They had the ability to solve using their brain. Another reason for having more neurons was mentioned in research papers. When Einstein's brain was weighed, it was found to be 1,230 grams, while the average human brain weighs 1,400 grams. Researchers believe that the lining of his brain was quite thin, which is why he had more neurons. But the biggest question still remained the same: whether Einstein was born with such a special brain, or if changes occurred after his birth. After investigation, it was found that when Albert Einstein was born, he couldn't speak for a full 5 years, while other children start speaking at the age of 2 or 3. Even when he started speaking, he still didn't like to talk much. Instead, he was always lost in his thoughts. Their power to memorize things was quite low. They even had difficulty remembering simple math tables. They were masters at processing math and numbers in logical ways, rather than memorizing them by rote. In school life, Einstein failed in every other subject. Only math and science were the subjects in which Einstein scored the highest. When Albert Einstein was 12 years old, a family tutor accidentally left their geometry book with him. Amazingly, Einstein read the entire book in just one day. He had cleared his geometry concepts. Not only that, but at the age of just 14, he had become a master of integral and differential calculus. His grip on math and science was so strong that when he raised his hand to ask a question in the classroom, the professors would start to get nervous because most of Einstein's questions were beyond the teacher's understanding. At a young age, he wanted to encapsulate the laws of this universe into a small equation, and he made this his life's purpose. At a young age, Einstein published 4 research papers that astonished the entire world. And because of this, he was awarded a PhD degree and the Nobel Prize for his outstanding contribution to humanity. You can gauge his impact from the fact that even today, science is incomplete without Einstein's theses. Many doctors and scientists concluded that Einstein's brain became special after his birth. The main reason for this was that when he couldn't find answers to his questions, he would find the answers himself with the help of his mind. By doing this at a young age, their brain developed accordingly. Even today, Einstein's extraordinary brain is preserved in the Mütter Museum in the United States, where it is carefully preserved in microscopic slides. We hope you will also like and share this video from Zem TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.